Outlaw Sports is brought to you by Casper Energy Services. Casper Energy Services prides itself on a culture of success.
There's one person that would like to see the pandemic happen again and the NHL play inside a bubble one more time. It would be Commissioner Gary Bettman. Why? Because this is the only time he'll hand out the Stanley Cup and never get booed. Seriously, they hate him. And I'm not too fond of the little man, but I would like to see him on TV more. I mean, can you imagine a remake of Fantasy Island? Look, boss, the plane. That's where I think Gary Bettman would shine. But anyhow, you look at what happened in the pandemic and how the NHL survived living in the bubble. It was quite an impressive run. It really was. I thought they set the standard for the big four in pro sports. The NFL is doing an excellent job as we head into week 3. No players have got the coronavirus. A couple of executives have had it. You look at basketball, well, they've had a few here and there. Baseball was a mess. Remember that? The Marlins and all these teams were having to sit out because a lot of their players tested positive. Now, they didn't have what the NHL had. They didn't have a bubble. Those guys were free roamers. And I said once, these guys are young, they're rich, and they're horny bastards. They're going to go out and they're going to test the waters, and that's what happened. So you have to look at what the NHL has done, and it's been impressive. The question is now, what are they going to do for an encore? What's next? Because we really don't know, other than the draft and free agency, when the league will start up again. We pretty much got a feeling it's going to be January 1st. And even then, if the so-called second round of the pandemic happens again, I always wondered about that too. How can they predict when it's going to happen, folks? I just don't get the whole thing. But how do they know when it's going to happen? Anyhow, they figure it's going to happen, the flu and cold season. So anyhow, getting back to the point about that is, so what do they do? If Americans can't come over here, like you saw with the Blue Jays this year, they had to play all their home games in Buffalo. What do you get? I've heard rumors about an all-Canadian division. Even though I love the Battle of Alberta, can you imagine playing the Oilers 10 times? And make it worse, can you imagine playing the Ottawa Senators 10 times? My goodness, what are they going to do? Then they talked about regional conferences for 1 year, all the East guys playing each, it comes down to what's the Canadian government going to do? Is it going to allow Americans back and forth at this time? So we still don't know what the heck's going to happen. They've done a great job so far. The playoffs are in the books. They should take a bow. Even Little Bettman should take a bow because they did a really fine, excellent job. In fact, they were the standard. Congratulations to the NHL. Now we want to see what's up for the encore.
Geo's Men's in Calgary, providing Calgarians to look their best.